Great news! My mortgage broker has just been in touch to tell me that one of his favourite lenders, who incidentally happens to be one of my favourite lenders and with whom I have multiple mortgages, has just revamped their product range again, and they've reintroduced their 80% LTV buy-to-let mortgage. So let me give you some quick details. Now there's a number of different products in the range, but just to give you an idea, there's a 3.99% fixed for 5 years, 80% LTV, as I say, no product fee, which is great. You'll quite often see a product fee on mortgages of 1% or 2% of the loan, or an amount like £1,999. There is no product fee, so that's great. £350 cashback, which is very generous. Free valuation, which saves you probably, well, depending on the value of the property, £300, £400, £500. And an application fee of only £299. And this is available on single self-contained family lets. But there is a slight twist in the tail here, because it's only available for properties which have an EPC rating of A, B or C. EPC being Energy Performance Certificate. You need one of those before you can rent the property out, and at the moment you have to have an EPC rating of E before you can rent the property out. So this is my thoughts on this. To buy a property, I probably wouldn't use this product. Why? Because the properties which I want to buy are properties which need improving. They need modernisation. They're probably not, in fact, they're almost definitely not going to have an EPC rating of A, B or C. They're probably going to be at the E, F range. So I wouldn't use it to buy. And if I was buying, I'd probably buy with cash, or I'd use bridging. The cash, by the way, could be mine, or it could be a JV partner's, a third party's, some kind of private loan arrangement. But then, because this 80% product is available for a refinance, I would then refinance after 6 months and use the 80% LTV. By the way, if you're new to property, it's a little bit confusing, but even if you buy for cash with no finance, when you then go to finance after 6 months, that's still known as a refinance. It's a bit confusing. But basically, I'd buy for cash or buy with bridging and then refinance using this product after 6 months, and that would work very, very well. So if you want me to put you in touch with my broker, who'll be able to take you through the details of this, if you have a property already in the pipeline that you want to buy and you want to raise finance on, for example, or if you have properties that you want to refinance and get some extra equity out, then I'd be very happy to put you in touch with my very good mortgage broker. Just email me, thepropertyteacher@gmail.com. And by the way, I know that somebody's going to be sort of emailing me and saying, well, why would I want to use an 80% LTV when I can use a 75% LTV and then I can reduce costs and keep my cash flow up? Yes, that's fine. So you need to know what you're trying to achieve. I'm usually very aggressive with my LTVs because my view is I want to be able to get as much capital back out, because that capital can then be put towards either paying for the refurb, or it can be used more likely as part of a deposit for another property. So yes, you could just sit on an LTV of 75% and nurse your cash flow. I would rather go for a higher LTV. I'd rather pay a higher rate on the mortgage, and it's not an awful lot really, is it, in the big scheme of things, but having that extra 5% of equity out could allow me to buy another property, particularly if I'm refinancing 2 or 3 properties at the same time onto an 80% LTV. Another thing which I just want to cover off, I know that somebody's going to email me and say, can't you just give me the name of the bank who are lending this product? Well, of course I could, but I'm not going to. And why aren't I? As I said in a previous video, the thing which we need to understand is that most lenders, including this lender, actually want you to go through an intermediary, like a mortgage broker. Why? Because they know that most people don't understand the mortgage market. There's probably, I haven't checked at the moment, but there's probably over 1,000 different buy-to-let products out there. And if banks just dealt with people who don't really understand what they're doing, who haven't got the time to research the market, who don't understand the nuances of all different lending products and what their particular circumstances mean in terms of criteria, then the FCA or some other regulatory body are probably going to be leaning over their shoulder, breathing down their necks and saying, why are you giving out all these loans to people who don't understand what they're borrowing? So that is why most lenders want you to go through an intermediary. So there's no point emailing me saying, please tell me the name of the bank. I'm not going to do that. You need to talk to a broker who can go through your whole financial situation, work out what you're trying to achieve, and then they can put you to the very best buy-to-let product for you. I hope you found this video useful and informative, and if you did, then please come over to my website www.thepropertyteacher.co.uk, where you'll find loads more great property related resources, including free special reports to download and my best-selling series of ebooks, which includes the Successful Property Renovators Workshop, 63 common defects in investment property and how to spot them. And if you're just starting out in property, or if you want to grow your portfolio, you may be particularly interested in the Successful Property Investors Strategy Workshop, in which I'll take you through exactly how I started and built my property portfolio, starting literally with none of my own money, and how I built a portfolio of £2 million worth of property in just 4 years. And that was starting from scratch. I'll take you through everything that I did right so that you can copy me and do the same. And I'll also show you everything that I did wrong so that you can avoid the mistakes that I made, and so that you can progress in property and be far more successful far more quickly than I ever was. And this is based upon my own real life experience, and it took me about 4 years to actually work out how to do property investing properly. But in the 200 pages in the Successful Property Investors Strategy Workshop, I'm going to show you all of that 4 years knowledge condensed down so that you can use it immediately. And until next time, here's to successful property investing.